Why? Tell him that it's... Hey everyone! Today I want to talk about modes. So I was noticing a trend in pop music recently, and I found that modes were coming back. So I thought it would be cool to dissect current songs in pop music that use modes. There was this one specific mode that just kept popping up. I noticed that was Mixolydian, so today I'm going to be talking about the Mixolydian mode, specifically how it relates to Make Me Feel by Janelle Monae and Nervous by Shawn Mendes. So what exactly are modes? I remember learning about them in songwriting class in college and absolutely hating them. Why do we need modes in our melody? They sound weird. What is going on? Oh, how the tables have turned. Modes are different scales that are often used to add color to normal or diatonic scales.
So, fancy definition-wise, it's a type of musical scale coupled with a set of characteristic melodic behaviors.
To explain modes, we're gonna have to explain the normal scales first. Let's talk about diatonic scales.
Diatonic is honestly just a fancy word for within the key, and it is the standard scale in Western music theory.
Elise, this concept is so intangible. How does it relate to the music I listen to? That is a grind question, my friend. So I remember as a kid going to the Sound of Music sing-along, loving the song Do a Deer, and that is essentially what a diatonic scale is. In a nutshell, modes switch up these notes to make things a little bit more interesting. So I like calling the Mixolydian mode the funk mode because funk music uses Mixolydian a lot in order to give it its unique sound. There's actually only a one-note difference as compared to the diatonic or major scale, and it sounds like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So for a really long, hot second in pop music, modes were not cool. We heard a lot of diatonic melodies that were super happy-go-lucky sounding.
No more, it cannot wait. I'm yours. Why can't you see? You belong with me. You belong with me.
I noticed that some songs would use chords that were from an alternate scale, but the melodies would still be diatonic. So that's why when Bang Bang hit in 2014, I was totally here for it.
Bang, bang into the room. I know you want it. Bang, bang all over you. I'll let you have it.
Fast forward to 2018.
That's just the way you make me feel. That's just the way you make me feel. That's just the way you make me feel. That's just the way you make me feel.
Okay, honestly, when I first heard Janelle Monae's Make Me Feel, I started swearing. That's all I did. It was that good. It was so good. And when I heard Nervous, I was honestly surprised that it was a Shawn Mendes song.
When I think about you, get a little excited. Baby, when I think about you.
Since when did Shawn Mendes make modal music? So the cool thing about the Mixolydian mode is that you don't need a complex chord structure to use it. Both Make Me Feel and Nervous use simple blues-inspired chord structures. Make Me Feel starts with very sparse production with just tongue clicks. Who would have thought to use pitched tongue clicks in beat production? Genius, clearly! And a wonky bass. The wonky bass is definitely a motif that we can hear continuously through the song. Motifs?
A motif is a recurring musical phrase.
Side note production geek out, I love the synth that is so a la Prince's 1999.
You keep on asking me the same.
I mean, I love that. So the sparse production gives a lot of space to the melody to really work that Mixolydian mode. Like, work. So Nervous also starts with very basic production with a funky guitar riff, which is a motif that we hear throughout the whole song. This guitar lick really outlines the Mixolydian scale, and the verse is very conversational and laid back. Instead of having the melody showcase the mode, this song lets the production and the guitar riff showcase that. So Nervous doesn't have a pre-chorus, but Make Me Feel does, and it's so interesting. Another thing we don't really hear in pop music is chromaticism.
So this is a little tricky to explain, but remember the Do Deer scale I showed you previously? Imagine if I played all the notes including the black keys. That is essentially the chromatic scale, and it sounds a little something like this.
Pop music usually shies away from the chromatic scale because it's harder to digest and it sounds weird sometimes. But Janelle Monae defies all of that and she leans into that chromatic scale.
Like I'm powerful with a little bit of tender.
Honestly, when I first heard that line, I thought she said a little bit of Tinder. Anyone else mix that up? Just me? Maybe there's some production there. Okay, but it's so cool because she mimics the way our words drop when we speak with little bit of tender. Who would have thought to use that? Nervous just catapults into a syncopated chorus melody. So speaking of chromaticism, after the chorus in Nervous, there's a really cool guitar lick that adds the perfect amount of color before going back into the verse groove. So I noticed another thing that was really cool about the two choruses of these two songs. Both of the songs build momentum quite quickly, but instead of having like a huge belting chorus, both of the songs use sensual falsetto voices. And another thing I thought that was really cool is that instead of having a bridge, Make Me Feel repeats the pre-chorus, this time with different production elements. There's an added descending high-pitched guitar melody line. I thought this was really interesting because in a lot of pop music, you know, we hear the drop and everything is actually going up in pitch. You know, it's like whoa, 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 whoa. Here comes the drop. That was really bad. But instead we have and in Nervous, we hear once again Shawn Mendes singing in falsetto, which is just... So if you'd like to experiment with a Mixolydian mode yourself, here are a few chords that you can vamp on and improvise over. So the guitar motif that we hear in the Shawn Mendes song Nervous really actually is outlining the G7 chord, the dominant chord.
So not to get too technical about it, but it's basically just a chord with 4 notes, and the 4th note is a minor third from the 5th.
So in the beginning we're hearing... If you wanted to experiment with your own stuff, you could use the G7 chord and the F chord and back to the G7. Baby, when I think about you. So I would like to thank the songwriting gods for making modal music cool again. I can be nerdy in peace.
My feelings on fire, guess I'm a bad liar.
Okay, but really, I love both of these songs a lot. That's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Do you have a song that you want me to talk about in my videos? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you would like to hear an original song of mine that features the Mixolydian mode, you can head over to my IGTV and check out episode 2. And follow me if you'd like. Feel free to hit the thumbs up button, follow me on the interwebs, and subscribe. Thank you!
Damn.
That's just the way you make me feel. That's just the way you make me feel.